So, I guess in terms of resolving dispositions,
Yes.
then what jumps out for me is the area of disposition is where it's so hard. And I'm going to assume where it's so hard is the interference that you're talking about.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
So why don't we start with that? They don't have all the facts, and I think they do when you get in the interference.
Yes.
Let's do that as a starting point, and just dig from there and find out where that takes us.
Yep.
Yep?
Yep.
Alright. What's the worst thing about them not having all the facts and yet they think they do? For you.
They're making judgments on this current scenario that if they had all the facts, they wouldn't be making those statements. So therefore, there wouldn't be an issue.
So what's the worst thing for you that they're making judgments on the current scenario? And if they had all the facts, they wouldn't be making those statements. What's the worst thing about that for you, that they're doing that?
Well, I don't know if it's the worst thing, but I'm feeling as if I'm being incompetent.
What's the worst thing about feeling incompetent?
Wow. Being a fool, I suppose.
What's the worst thing about feeling a fool? Feeling like a fool or being a fool? What's the worst thing for you about being a fool?
That was interesting. People won't respect me.
Good. What's the worst thing for you, Norm? That people won't respect you.
Well, they don't respect me.
Worst thing for you that people won't respect you.
God. I heard the question, but it's starting to become a blank.
Yeah, that's good because we're getting closer to where we need to be. So let's try and get in touch with your feelings. People won't respect you. Where do you feel that? Have a look. Your chest, good. So breathe into your chest. Connect to the sensations. The words will come. People won't respect me. What's the worst thing about that for you? People won't respect you. People won't respect me. What's the worst thing about that for you?
Shame.
Excellent. What's the worst thing about being shame for you? What's the worst thing about having shame for you?
Run away. I don't know if that's a word, but that's a feeling I want to do. I want to avoid the shame, so I want to run away from it.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's the worst thing, but that's
So would the worst thing having to be facing your shame?
probably, yeah.
So what's the worst thing for you about facing your shame? Or what would be the worst thing for you about facing shame?
I'd probably have to own up
Mm.
to my shortcomings.
Mm. And what would be the worst thing about that, having to own up to your shortcomings?
Probably nothing if I did it. I just don't want to do it, I suppose.
Well, there's a part there that doesn't want to do it for a reason. So what's the worst thing about, for you? Or what could be the worst thing for you about owning up to your shortcomings?
To see myself for who I truly am.
Worst thing about that?
I'm not who I thought I was.
What's the worst thing about that?
Who am I?
So, lost?
Yeah, loss of identity.
What would be the worst thing about loss of identity for you? What would be the worst thing about loss of identity for you?
I don't know, because if I don't have an identity, then there's nothing there.
So what would be the worst thing about that? Nothing
There'd be
there.
nothing worse than not existing.
So you reckon the worst thing for you is loss of identity?
Well, loss of identity / non-existence, yeah. If my identity isn't there,
So non-existence is where we got to.
yeah.
Alrighty. I'm going to get you up to muscle test that.